silence, stillness, and presence. In the nuanced practice of therapy, the concepts of silence, stillness, and presence are not mere abstract ideas. They are foundational components that form the substratum of effective therapeutic relationships. These elements, often overlooked in favor of more vocal interventions, are imbued with transformative potential. Their integration into therapeutic practice demands a sophisticated understanding of both their theoretical underpinnings and their practical applications. In the realm of therapy, silence is not simply the absence of speech. It is a potent tool that can foster introspection and self-awareness. The therapist's skillful employment of silence can facilitate a deeper connection with the client, creating a space where the unsaid can emerge as a profound conduit for healing. Carl Rogers, a pioneering figure in client-centered therapy, emphasized the importance of silence as a means of encouraging clients to explore their inner landscapes without the pressure of immediate response or judgment. Silence, when wielded with intent, allows for the emergence of authentic expression and can be a mirror reflecting the unspoken aspects of the client's psyche. Stillness, often intertwined with silence, is another pivotal element. It is the therapist's capacity to cultivate an inner peace and calm that resonates with the client, fostering an environment conducive to healing. The practice of mindfulness, a clinical application of stillness, has gained traction as an evidence-based approach to enhancing therapeutic outcomes. Mindfulness encourages therapists to maintain a grounded presence, which can help clients regulate their own emotional states. The stillness that a therapist embodies can act as an anchor, providing stability in the often turbulent waters of emotional distress. Presence, the third element, is perhaps the most elusive yet vital component. It involves the therapist's ability to be fully attuned to the client in the moment, both physically and emotionally. This attunement requires a deep level of empathy and an unwavering commitment to being with the client in whatever state they find themselves. Presence is not a passive state, but an active engagement that requires the therapist to listen with their whole being, beyond words, to the subtle cues of the client's expression and demeanor. The therapeutic presence has been identified as a predictor of positive client outcomes, as it fosters a sense of safety and validation. Pause. To illustrate the practical application of these elements, consider the following case study. In a clinical setting, a therapist working with a client suffering from profound grief might initially encounter a wall of silence. Rather than attempting to fill this silence with words, the therapist embraces it, allowing the client to navigate their emotions in their own time. This silence is not an absence, but a presence, a shared space where the client's grief can exist without pressure. As the therapist remains still and centered, the client gradually begins to speak, their words emerging like tentative blooms. The therapist's presence, characterized by a non-judgmental and empathetic stance, provides the client with the reassurance needed to explore their feelings more deeply. Through this process, the client experiences a cathartic release, facilitated by the therapeutic environment of silence, stillness, and presence. Right? Pause. The interplay of these elements also finds expression in the use of contemporary therapeutic modalities. For instance, in acceptance and commitment therapy, therapists are encouraged to embody a presence that is both accepting and committed to the client's experiential world. The presence of the therapist in ACT is not merely physical, but a shared psychological space where client and therapist collaborate in navigating the client's internal experiences. This approach underscores the importance of presence as not only a therapeutic stance, but a dynamic, interactive process that can lead to meaningful change. Critically examining competing perspectives reveals an ongoing dialogue about the role these elements play in diverse therapeutic settings. While some practitioners argue that silence can be misinterpreted as aloofness or disengagement, Others contend that it is a necessary condition for authentic communication. The debate often centers on the client's unique needs and cultural background, which can shape their perception of silence and stillness. In some cultural contexts, silence may be seen as a sign of respect and contemplation, while in others, it may be perceived as a lack of interest or support. Therefore, therapists must be attuned to the client's cultural framework and adjust their use of silence and stillness accordingly to avoid potential misunderstandings. The therapeutic use of presence, too, varies across modalities and professional disciplines. In body-oriented therapies, for instance, presence encompasses an awareness of the client's somatic experiences, integrating physiological and emotional processes. This holistic approach aligns with emerging frameworks in psychotherapy that emphasize the interconnectedness of mind and body, challenging traditional dichotomies that separate mental and physical health. Another insightful case study involves a therapist practicing in a cross-cultural context with a client from a collectivist culture. Here, the therapist's presence is adapted to accommodate the client's cultural values, which prioritize communal harmony over individual expression. By recognizing and respecting these values, the therapist can create an environment where the client feels safe to explore personal and shared narratives. This culturally sensitive approach demonstrates the adaptability of silence, stillness, and presence across different cultural landscapes, highlighting the importance of contextual awareness in therapeutic practice. From an interdisciplinary perspective, the concepts of silence, stillness, and presence resonate beyond the confines of therapy. In the field of education, for example, educators who embody these principles can create learning environments that encourage reflection and critical thinking. Similarly, in leadership, the ability to listen with presence and maintain a calm demeanor can foster trust and inspire confidence among team members. These interdisciplinary connections underscore the universal applicability and relevance of these concepts across diverse professional domains. Pause. In synthesizing these insights, it becomes evident that silence, stillness, and presence are not merely passive states, but active components of the therapeutic process. Their integration requires a high level of skill and awareness, as well as an understanding of the cultural and contextual factors that influence their effectiveness. By embracing these elements with intention and compassion, therapists can cultivate healing relationships that are both transformative and enduring. Ultimately, the practice of holding space with compassion is an art as much as it is a science. It demands a continuous commitment to personal and professional growth, as well as a willingness to embrace the unknown. In this shared journey, silence, stillness, and presence serve as guiding beacons, illuminating the path toward healing and transformation.